The office was almost empty when Olivia Grant noticed the strange email. The cleaning staff had already started their work, most employees had gone home, but Olivia was still sitting quietly at her desk, and the file she just opened would change her life forever. Olivia was only an office assistant at Northbridge Finance in London. Her job was simple: schedule meetings, organize documents, prepare coffee during executive meetings. Most people in the company barely noticed her, but Olivia noticed everything. That evening she was finishing a routine task. She had to organize files for the chief financial officer, Richard Halstead. Richard was one of the most powerful executives in the company. People feared him. His temper was famous across the office. Olivia opened a folder that was labeled Quarterly Transfers. At first everything looked normal, but then she saw something strange. One transfer, then another, then another. Large amounts of company money had been sent to a private account. The account name was hidden, but the approval signature was clear: Richard Halstead. Olivia leaned closer to the screen. Her heart started beating faster. Millions of dollars had been moved quietly over several months. She whispered softly to herself, "This can't be right." But deep inside she knew something terrible. She had just discovered something she was never supposed to see. Olivia could not stop thinking about the transfers. She checked the files again, and again. The numbers were real. Millions of company dollars were disappearing, and every transaction had one name attached: Richard Halstead. Olivia knew something important. If she ignored this, no one might ever know. But if she spoke about it, she could lose her job. Richard Halstead controlled almost everything in the company. One complaint from him could destroy her career. Olivia closed the file slowly. She told herself she would forget about it, but then she remembered something her father once told her: doing the right thing is often the hardest choice. Olivia took a deep breath. She decided to report the transfers to the internal audit team, but someone else had already noticed her looking at those files, and that someone was Richard Halstead himself. The next morning the office felt normal. Phones were ringing, employees were talking, but Olivia felt nervous. At 10:15 a.m. her phone rang. "Mr. Halstead would like to see you." Olivia froze. She slowly walked toward the executive floor. Richard's office was huge: tall windows, dark wooden desk, and Richard Halstead sitting behind it like a king. He looked up slowly. "Olivia, sit down." His voice was calm, too calm. Then he asked one simple question: "Were you reviewing my financial files last night?" Olivia felt her stomach tighten. She realized something important. Richard already knew. Richard leaned forward slowly. His eyes were cold. "You saw something you were not supposed to see," he said quietly. Olivia tried to stay calm. "Sir, I think there might be a mistake in the financial transfers." Richard laughed, but it was not a friendly laugh. "You are just an assistant," he said. "You organize calendars. You don't question executives." Then he said something that made Olivia feel cold. "You have two choices. You forget what you saw, or you will regret it." Olivia left the office shaking, but her decision had already been made. She would not stay silent. What Olivia did not know was that Richard had already started planning something dangerous. 2 days later something shocking happened. Security officers entered the office floor. They walked straight to Olivia's desk. "Olivia Grant," one officer said. "You need to come with us." The whole office watched in shock. She was taken to a meeting room. Inside were HR staff and Richard Halstead. Then the accusation came. Olivia had stolen company money. Her login had been used to transfer funds. Olivia stared in disbelief. She realized the terrible truth: Richard had framed her. Olivia was suspended from work immediately, but she had something Richard did not know. On the night she found the files, she had turned on her phone recorder. It recorded her entire conversation with Richard, including his threat. Olivia listened to the recording again at home. His voice was clear. His words were dangerous. Now she had proof. But exposing a powerful executive would not be easy. She needed the right moment, and the right audience. While Olivia was suspended, someone contacted her. It was Marcus Lee, a senior auditor. Marcus had been investigating missing funds for months, but he never found proof. When Olivia told him about the recording, Marcus understood immediately. Richard Halstead had been stealing from the company for years, but they needed more evidence. So Marcus had a plan. They would expose Richard in front of the company board. 1 week later the company board held a major meeting. Richard Halstead attended confidently. He believed Olivia was finished. Then Marcus stood up. "I would like to present new evidence." The room became silent. Then Olivia walked into the room. Richard's face changed immediately. Marcus played the recording. Richard's own voice filled the room, threatening Olivia, admitting the transfers. The board members stared at him in shock. The truth was finally out. The board launched an emergency investigation. The evidence was clear. Richard Halstead had stolen millions. He was fired immediately. The police were called. Richard walked out of the building surrounded by officers. The same office that once feared him now watched silently. His power had disappeared in one day. The company sent a message to all employees. Olivia Grant had been falsely accused. The real criminal was Richard Halstead. The company apologized publicly. Many employees felt ashamed. They had believed the accusation without knowing the truth. But Olivia had proven something important. Even the quietest voice can reveal the biggest truth. Months later, Olivia returned to the company. But everything had changed. People now respected her. She was no longer invisible. The board offered her a new role in the compliance department. Her job would be helping prevent corruption. The quiet assistant had become the person protecting the company. Olivia stood in the office lobby one evening after work. She thought about everything that happened: fear, betrayal, false accusations, but she also remembered something important. Truth always finds its way out, even when powerful people try to hide it. Olivia once felt invisible, but her courage changed everything. Because sometimes the smallest voice can expose the biggest lie. Life lesson: doing the right thing may be difficult, but silence allows wrong to grow. Courage can protect truth even against powerful people. Kindly like, comment and subscribe for more life lessons.